The southern ridges comprise 10 km of green open spaces that connect Mount Faber Park, Telok Blangah Hill Park, Hort Park, Kent Ridge Park. It is one of the best spots in Singapore to enjoy the panoramic views of the city, harbour and the Southern Islands, with other highlights such as Henderson Waves, Forest Walk and Canopy Walk. So I've begun my Southern Ridges walk via the Mount Faber Lodge condo. There are actually two routes to get to the Mount Faber peak, such as the road trail as well as the hiking trail. Let's take the hiking trail, which will eventually meet at the road trail at Car Park B of the Mount Faber peak. There, we have arrived at Car Park B. Somewhere at the Car Park B, we will meet at the Marang Trail. Now behind me is the Marang Trail. It's called the Killer Slope as well. It is 800 meters long with 70 meters in height. Let me bring you to the start point of Marang Trail. You can access the Marang Trail via the Harbourfront Station Exit D. It's the final stop of the North East Line and the Circle Line. There is a car park right next to the trail for people who are driving. Let's continue with the Faber Walk. There's a viewing area here which overlooks the Telok Blangah Rise HDB, which is directly in front. And here is where the Tiong Bahru, Bukit Merah and Red Hill HDB enclave is situated as well. And over on this side, you get a nice view of Singapore and the Southern Island. And you can see the cable car here runs from Faber Peak all the way to Harbourfront, VivoCity, and it continues to Sentosa Island. We are at the peak of Mount Faber, that is Reflections at Keppel Bay. This is Caribbean at Keppel Bay, Corals at Keppel Bay, and that is the new Reef at King's Dock Condo. This is the Harbourfront Centre, and behind us is Universal Studio right there. Let's enjoy the walk along the Mount Faber Loop before we cross over to Henderson Waves. I really enjoy this part of Mount Faber Loop. It's very quiet, very tranquil, sort of gives you the meditative feel, almost like in the Zen mode. We have arrived at Henderson Wave. It is a 274 meters long pedestrian bridge with unique wave-like structure. So after we cross the Henderson Wave, we will arrive at Telok Blangah Hill Park. So to get to the Alcove Mansion, you actually have to pass through the Sembcorp Forest of Giants at Telok Blangah Hill Park. The Sembcorp Forest of Giants is a living gallery of giant tree species that are threatened in our region. So there are more than 600 trees and 55 species that were planted to aid researchers and educate people about these towering species and to raise awareness for reforestation. As they were planted as young trees, it will take around 50 years for the trees in the Sembcorp forest of giants to mature and to reach their full heights. When this happens, these giant trees will look majestic emerging from the forest canopy, and that will be visible from elsewhere along southern ridges. We are now at the Alkaff Mansion. It is an early 20th century colonial building located within the Telok Blangah Hill Park in Singapore. Around 1918, Syed Sheikh Alkaff built the bungalow as his primary residence, which he later abandoned during World War II. The property was later acquired by the government. The Alkaff Mansion now is a collective of lifestyle of F&B concepts, and it has 3 dining concepts: Wild Seed Cafe, 1918 Heritage Bar, and the UNA, which is a refined Spanish restaurant previously at 1 Rochester. I was halfway through my journey, therefore I've decided to drop by at the Wild Seed Cafe for a sumptuous breakfast. So I couldn't do the Earth Trail today. You know that part is closed? So I'm going to carry on with the alternative route. So this is a time during August 2024 during my hike where parts of Telok Blangah Hill trails is closed for repair until 2026 due to slope failure. This was caused by heavy and prolonged rain on February 2023, which resulted in a slope failure at the park's elevated forest walk, according to the National Park Spot. For public safety and to facilitate the works in that area, the National Park said it has closed the eastern section of the Forest Walk and Earth Trail for repair works until end of July 2026. During this closure, park visitors were advised to take the alternative path along the Telok Blangah Heights and to continue their exploration on the southern ridges. Let me bring you there now. So it states here, proposed strengthening work for existing slope and foundation under Forest Walk at Telok Blangah Hill. See this entire area over here? It is under the restoration work by the national parks. So that is the alternative route through the housing estate. After the short detour via the housing estates, we have finally arrived at the trail towards the forest or earth walk. I am very excited to take the forest walk. The forest walk is a 1.3 kilometer long elevated boardwalk that rises between 3 meters to 18 meters above the forest floor. Now, I've seen some tourists doing this forest walk as part of their YouTube channel. And I would say that the most tourists would love the freshness and the elevated forest walk in this part of Telok Blangah Hill. As I continue my journey, it is almost 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I do not feel the heat at all. I'm not sure if the greeneries play a role in lowering the temperature around me. I certainly feel very comfortable to continue my journey to Hort Park. Before we move on to Alexandra Arch, I think this is where the singing forest is, although I'm not sure the exact start and exact end of the location as it is part of the forest walk. Nevertheless, let's enjoy the elevated boardwalk view once again. Just as the introduction, the singing forest is part of the National Park's plan to enhance biodiversity within Singapore's urban areas, showcasing 38 native tree species that originally dominated Singapore's regional landscape before urbanization. The Singing Forest project will intensify the already high diversity of native bird species in the southern regions. We have now arrived at the Alexandra Arch. The Alexandra Arch and Forest Walk is made up of the 80-meter-long pedestrian bridge over Alexandra Road and a 1.6-kilometer-long elevated walkway. Alexandra Arch, I was there just now and we are at Hort Park. We are coming almost towards the end of our Southern Regis Walk. Welcome to Hort Park. It is a 23 acres lifestyle and garden hub where you can wander through 20 themed gardens. This one-stop gardening resource hub is where you will find variety of gardening-related, recreational, educational, research and retail activities. I'm now at the 6-kilometer mark into my walk, and it has already been 3 hours since I started at the Mount Faber foothill. That is including the 1-hour breakfast time which I had in Alcove Mansion. Let's continue our journey towards the Canopy Walk. I sort of get lost halfway. I need to find my way to the Canopy Walk up here. So let's go. We are 6.7 km into my walk. I found my Canopy Walk. Let's go. Okay, so I spotted another condo. I believe it's Normanton Park. And let's continue with our journey through the Canopy Walk. You can see how high we are, almost reaching the top of the trees. We have finally arrived at the Kent Park. Kent Park is a 47-hectare public park located at Kent, Singapore, between the National University of Singapore and the Singapore Science Park. From this point onwards, I will need to find my way towards the Science Park, where the Kent MRT is, and board the MRT back to the harbourfront. The highest point of the park is 61 meters above sea level, from where there is a panoramic view of the coast of Pasir Panjang and some of the southern islands, approximately 5 km off southern west coast of Singapore. These parks have some facilities include fitness corners, lookout points, a nature trail, a multi-purpose court, and a canopy walk. This is Normanton Park condo. I think I did share before during the canopy walk where I also spotted this condo from that view. I finally arrived at the science park and can't wait to get to the Kent MRT so that I can make my way back to Harbourfront MRT for my lunch. Five stops away from the Kent MRT, I finally reached the Harbourfront MRT. This is VivoCity Shopping Mall. It is one of Singapore's largest malls and a home to 488 merchants across optical, cafes, electrical and electronics, banks, ATMs, entertainment, restaurants, hypermarket, cinema, fast food, and you name it. What is interesting about this mall is that on top of the mall, you will get this so-called mini water theme park where young parents used to bring their young kids to just hang around for the entire day. And it is overlooking the Sentosa Island, where you can also see the Universal Studio and its major attractions. As this is my final stop, I hope you have enjoyed the walk with me from Mount Faber all the way to Kent MRT. Thank you for watching and stay safe wherever you are. I am Jaimie Ho and I am signing off with a view of the VivoCity as well as Sentosa.